Assalamu alaikum, sir. I'll give a presentation. I'm Mohammed Usama, sir.
Name?
Mohammed Usama.
मोहम्मद उसामा।
Yes, sir.
यार आप
सर
लोग,
मेरा भी पैकेज खत्म होने वाला है सर।
क्या नाम है?
फजल खालिक।
आप लोग यार अपने नाम से सेव करते नहीं। दिस इज समथिंग वेरी प्रॉब्लमेटिक फॉर मी। नाम से सेव करके कम से कम बंदा जो है जॉन डन के नाम से क्यों सेव कर रहे हैं? अपने नाम से सेव करना है। सेव बाय योर नेम सो दैट आई कैन इजीली ओपन योर फाइल। अब मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ आप लोग की फाइल। फजल खालिक और
सर वर्ड के अंदर फाइल है, वर्ड के अंदर।
वर्ड के अंदर तो बहुत,
Presentation।
वर्ड के अंदर फाइल यही कोई तरीका होता है बताने का यार।
सर लैपटॉप खराब है सर।
फजल खालिक और कौन है?
सर
यस, नेम?
सर सदफ
आई कॉल यू मेनी टाइम्स सदफ। आपको कई मतलब
यस सर दैट सर लाइट नहीं थी उस टाइम, आई एम नॉट कनेक्टेड।
भाई ये कैसी प्रेजेंटेशन बनाई है आपने यार? ये दिस इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल माय डियर मोहम्मद असामा। ये हाँ, ये आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, इसको कुछ है ही नहीं। दोबारा बनाओ
सर, मोबाइल के ऊपर बनाइए
यार। आप जैसे ही बनाएंगे लेकिन कुछ तरीके से तो बनाओ ना। कोई प्रेजेंटेशन है जो आप दे रहे हैं, इससे तो बेहतर है ना ही दे। दोबारा बना के दे मुझे।
आवाज नहीं आई अभी
सर मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन हो।
सर आप
मोहम्मद असामा, आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है। ये प्रेजेंटेशन आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन है, मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ सबके सामने ताकि।
सर मैंने आपको क्या
सर मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन ले लें इकरा जावेद।
यार ये लैपटॉप है या नहीं, ये मेरा मसला नहीं, लेकिन आपको तरीके की प्रेजेंटेशन है। ये प्रेजेंटेशन है कहीं से मुझे बताओ, इसको कोई प्रेजेंटेशन कहेगा?
सर पता है मुझे आपका मसला नहीं है सर लैपटॉप, लेकिन सर मजबूरियां भी होती हैं सर।
भाई मजबूरी होती है तो यार कुछ तरीके से तो बना के दो। ये कोई आपने बनाया, ये प्रेजेंटेशन कोई कहेगा ऑनलाइन है भाई। ये आपका वहाँ पे जाके लगेगा। मुझे कहेंगे कि आपने कैसे परमिशन दे दी है स्टूडेंट को जो आपको ये प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहा है। आप खुद भी तो थोड़ा सोचो ना यार, आप मास्टर्स के स्टूडेंट हो, ये आपने प्रेजेंटेशन बनाई है, खुद भी थोड़ा सोचो। कैफेटेरिया में जाओ, कैफेटेरिया में जाओ
सर, मुझे पता है सर, ठीक नहीं।
केबिन जहाँ पे ये नेट यूज करते हैं ना, वहाँ जाके आधे घंटे में बना लो प्रेजेंटेशन। इसमें इतना कौन सा आपको
सर
करना है?
हमारे इलाके में नहीं है सर, हमारे।
अब ये आप देख लो यार भाई, ये काबिल कबूल नहीं, क्योंकि आपकी ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंटेशन होगी, ये आपको वहाँ मुझे अपलोड करना पड़ेगा। आपके लिए मसला होगा, मेरे लिए मसला होगा। ये तो प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं होगी। मैंने वर्ड वाली फाइल की प्रेजेंटेशन एक्सेप्ट किए हैं, लेकिन वो फिर भी कुछ अच्छी बनी हुई थी, ताकि जिसको हम डिफेंड भी कर सकें। और कौन है भाई, जल्दी बताएं।
फजल खालिक सर।
सर इकरा जावेद।
इकरा जावेद, फजल खालिक। फजल खालिक फाइल किस नाम से सेव है?
सर नईमा सारा।
फजल खालिक के नाम से।
फजल खालिक के नाम से। आप लोग
सर मंसूर अख्तर।
जस्ट वेट, पहले मैं देख लूं जो मेरे पास खुली है, उनको मैं देखता हूँ। उनमें से जो नईमा सारा की फाइल खुली हुई है। नईमा सारा, यू स्टार्ट।
यस सर। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, मेरी हो गई या फिर देनी है और दोबारा?
आपकी व्हाट्स योर नेम?
फातिमा।
हो गई आप?
सर भी लास्ट सेशन एंड हो गया था।
आपकी होगी। ओके, यस नईमा, यू स्टार्ट।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, माय नेम इज नईमा सारा एंड माय टॉपिक इज व्हाट इज सटायर। सर स्लाइड चेंज कर।
बीएस और एमए, हरी अप।
Satire a way of criticizing people or ideas in your.
Are you the student of BA or BS or MA?
MA.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Can I continue, sir?
Yes, continue.
A way of criticizing people or ideas in a humorous way. It is both a genre or a literary device that holds human nature up to criticism. It is use of humor to attack a person, an idea, or behavior that you think is bad or silly. It is a way of entertaining readers. Yes, sir. What is the text? Sir, please slide change कर दें.
Yes.
Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary says.
Yes, carry on. आप
पिछली slide.
हाँ, आप बोले।
Types of satire: Horatian satire, Juvenalian satire, and Manichaean satire. So, Horatian satire named after Roman satirist Horace, who can start writing poetry in 51 BC. he is gentle. He criticized human for behavior in comic way. Horatian satire is comic and offers light social commentary. It is meant to poke fun at a person or situation in an entertaining way. Gulliver Travel, written in 18th century by Jonathan Swift, is an example of Horatian satire. Juvenalian satire named after a Roman satirist, Juvenal. Juvenal satire is it also an no sir sorry sir. Juvenile satire is dark rather than comedic. It is meant to speak truth to power. George Orwell's famous 1914 novel Animal Farm is the best example of it. Manipaean satire is originated with the Roman satirist named Manippus. Manipaean satire casts moral judgment on a particular belief such as homophobia and racism. It can be comic and light, much like Horatian satire. Although it can also be a stinging as Juvenalian satire. Lewis Carroll Alice Adventure in Wonderland is one of the best example of Juvenalian satire.
Give me an example of political satire.
Political satire, sir, Animal Farm, and 1948.
48 or 84?
Oh, sorry, sir, 84.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, Bilal Habib. Is Bilal Habib present?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here.
Start.
So my topic, Assalamu alaikum to all of you. My name is Bilal. I'm from MA English, first semester. So my topic is new classical age. New actually comes from new means naya, and classical word actually it means this era actually once before came in Roman and Roman, and it is also called period of enlightenment, age of reasons, because the writer who most of the writers in that age they wrote for reasons everything, and intellectually things they wrote. And also the era is called era of logic. Sir, next please. So as I earlier mentioned, the word new actually means new, and classic mean classical, and it came from Roman and Greek also classic. And in this era actually it came after Renaissance. Actually after Renaissance, and this era came, and it started from 1660 and lasted 1798, and it is actually divided in 3 parts. The first part is actually called Restoration period, and the second Augustan period, and the third era is called the Age of Johnson, Dr. Johnson. It is actually came. Third one is actually it is divided in 3 parts that I have already mentioned. Sir, may you go ahead? Yes, Restoration age actually it was started in 1916 to 17th century. Actually, it is also called as the Restoration period as King Charles and Restoration.
King Charles.
Oh, sorry, sir, Charles. Sir. Okay, sir.
That's all.
Yes, sir. Ahead. May you move ahead? And the second one, yes, here are the characteristics of new classical age. The first one is rationalism. Actually, it is based on reasons, as I already mentioned, that actually the writers whoever wrote in that age, like Milton and also the rap of, and also Dorian actually, and Pope also, they wrote everything on reasons. And also scholarly illusions means they behaved like elderly, and it actually the way they wrote it simply shown that the writer, they wanted to teach something to us, and it was, and also critics actually criticized on that age because of these things, because nothing new came in that age. Whatever that came in that age, it was already actually happened in Roman Empire at that era, and they also they got
What is
inspired
heroic
from
couplet? What is heroic couplet?
heroic couplet, sir. It is actually one of the main thing of that age, because heroic couplet actually came when these writers actually got inspired from some beings, and they wrote on them, and it is also called in this age. Most of the heroic couplet was written in that age, like
What is heroic couplet?
actually
What is heroic couplet? होता क्या ये?
heroic couplets, सर ये असल में करेक्टर के ऊपर लिखते हैं जिनसे इंस्पायर होते हैं, उनको एज
Heroic couplet style of writing it. It's a meter that is called rhyming words. ठीक है? Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
सर मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन ले ले, मेरा डेटा भी खत्म होने वाला है।
भाई आपका नाम क्या है?
मंसूर अख्तर सर, 5 बार 10 बार बता चुका हूँ।
बता चुके हो, फिर एकदम खामोश हो जाते हो ना, बोला करो ना कम से कम यार, जैसी भी खत्म होती बोल दिया करो। मंसूर अख्तर, महंताज, चलिए स्टार्ट। स्टार्ट मिस्टर मंसूर अख्तर। मंसूर अख्तर, नो मंसूर अख्तर। इस्माहान ताज, नॉट एब्सेंट।
सर फजल खालिक के नाम से
फजल
एमबी बिल को
खालिक,
खत्म होने वाली है।
फजल खालिक आप दोबारा भेजें आप अपना, अब आगे पीछे गुम हो चुका आपका।
सर सदफ हफीज,
आप भी सदफ हफीज, आपका तो मैंने निकाला था बट अगेन यू वर नॉट प्रेजेंट, दोबारा भेजें आप।
सर इकरा जावेद,
सदफ हफीज, आप तीनों ग्रुप में भेज दें, बस एक ही जगह भेजिएगा ग्रुप में। सदफ हफीज,
सर उमामा रज़ाक,
सदफ हफीज, और मामा आपका भी मैंने नाम पुकारा था शुरू में, लेकिन आप भी नहीं थी। अभी आप उसी ग्रुप में भेज दें जल्दी से।
सर यू कॉल्ड माय नेम।
मंसूर अख्तर आप हैं?
यस सर।
सर इकरा जावेद,
आपको पुकार के तकिया, फिर मैंने इसको बंद कर दिया।
सर डेटा एंड में है ना, सुबह से चल रहा है, खत्म होगा इस एमबी।
नहीं यार, ये कैसा डेटा आप लोगों के पास? अभी ये दोबारा मैं खोल रहा हूँ मंसूर अख्तर।
यस सर।
ये टीचिंग ऑफ लिटरेचर जो ग्रुप है उसमें आप भेज दें, जितने भी 4-5 स्टूडेंट्स हैं ना, यू कैन सेंड योर ओवर देयर। कहाँ गया? चलें, मंसूर अख्तर स्टार्ट।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, माय नेम इज मंसूर अख्तर, बेस्ड एट BS 5th semester section A. So today my topic is Fairy Queen as an allegorical poem. First, I will tell you about the allegory. What is allegory? A story form etc. in which characters are physical representation of some ideas and principles. It aims to give abstract ideas in an indirect way and to convey a moral lesson or hidden meanings. For example, truth, falsehood, honesty, etc. So next. So how the Fairy Queen as an allegorical poem? because the character representation and events of Perry Quinn has many hidden meanings. The good characters are symbolizing the virtue, while the bad characters are showing the drawbacks and evilness. Next. So, the character representation, the Red Cross Knight represent holiness. Lady Yuna stand for truth, goodness, and wisdom. Her parents, Lady Yuna's parents symbolize the human race. The dragon stands for evil. The mission of holiness.
आप इसे
Red Cross
थोड़ा
is to
एक्सक्यूज मी थोड़ा इसको एक्सप्लेन करें, इसको अपने अल्फाज में बताएं. डोंट रीड.
okay, sir. Sir, uh, the Red Cross Knight, it means holiness. Holiness means purity. Purity and Lady Yuna means truth. So, how is it? How the Fairy Queen is an allegory? This character showing the allegorical meaning, because allegory means the indirect meaning, indirect or hidden meaning. If you cannot talking direct, if you will not convey your message directly, you will use the writer use allegory to convey your message indirectly. So the Archimago, another character, is mean hypocrisy, because when the Red Cross Knight fight with dragon for Lady Yuna, it means that the truth always wins. Always wins with evil. Evil doesn't wins. And but the hypocrisy always wins the truth. Spencer mingled these two allegories, moral and spiritual allegories with political and personal allegories. He wrote his epic especially for the glory of Queen Elizabeth and his courtiers. The character of Gloriana shows the character of the Queen Elizabeth, Queen of England at that time. So next.
Okay, thank you.
Spence.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now I'm opting. Fazal Khalik,
Yes, sir.
I'm starting your presentation. Start.
Assalamu alaikum to all. This is me, Fazal Khaliq, and I would like to discuss the themes of the rape of the log. So let's get started.
Just wait. Is this yours? नाम तो लिखते यार इसका presentation पर. Start.
Yes. So go ahead, sir. First of all, I would like to tell you what is theme and what is its importance. And what is its importance? So as far as the theme is concerned, so theme is the main subject that is being discussed or described in a piece of writing. And it is very important in any piece of writing and in any story, because a story theme is part of the reason why the author wrote the story. And the second thing is that the author has a message he wants to share with readers. and he uses his story as a way to get message across. So go ahead. So some of the major themes of this poem, I mean the Rape of the Lock. So the first theme of this poem is beauty. So the main focus of this poem is the experience of a beautiful woman whose name is Belinda, who lost her hair to a nobleman known as the Baron. So Pope added Clarissa's speech into the poem, which argues that women spend much time on their looks rather than thinking to become a better person and serve society. So the main purpose of Pope was that this kind of self-obsession is useless and radically nonsense. But however, the poem's conclusion seems to suggest that true beauty would be of some value, but if it becomes the subject of poetry, so thus it achieves a kind of literary immortality. The second theme of this poem is religion and morality. So the religion and morality is also the major themes of this poem. It is full of moral questions about religious culture and life in the 18th century. The time when the poem was written, so England's last Catholic monarch had been deposed, and England once again became a Protestant nation. So at that time, Protestants bitterly criticized Catholic, believing that Catholics had strayed from the worship of God. So Pope was, as we know that Pope was from a Catholic family. So throughout the poem, it is possible to detect humorous evaluation of Protestantism. And Protestant, as we know that Protestant at the time made life very difficult for Catholic families to own a land or live in London. So Pope parodies the hypocritical religious rhetoric of the time and suggests that suggests that Christianity is not the best lens, and it can. The third one, female desire and passion. So this is the third. So someone is calling me. The third themes of this poem is female desire and passion. So in this poem, Pope has made fun of women, and he said that.
लिखा हुआ पढ़ रहे हैं क्या आप?
No.
Are you reading
Yes,
from
sir.
somewhere else?
Not sir.
सर आपको परेशानी क्या है? जो भी स्लाइड सामने है बोल दिए, वो बताएं उसके बारे में.
Sir, someone is calling me. That's why. Love. Pope thinks that love has no importance for the characters in this poem. For the Alexander Pope, the upper class believes only in victories and defeats. So love has no value in their unthinking minds. So Belinda meets with
Belinda.
pride. Belinda, pride. So it is also one of the major themes in this poem. We can say that the pride of a woman is natural to her. So sorry, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Carry on.
So it is also one of the major theme of this poem. We can say that the pride of a woman is natural to her. Beauty can be without pride, and our dear Belinda handles it best of all. She takes care that no one would go without looking at her with full glance. So Baron decides to take revenge on Belinda by stripping her beloved lock of hair. So Baron tried to get Belinda by force, but not by marrying her. So he tried to win our heart, but failed. And it is obvious. So as Belinda, pride, self-respect, and beauty were common, were more important for her than anything else. Conclusion. So the Rape of the Lock reveals that the central concern of the poem is pride, at least for women like Belinda, and other social one found in that society. So
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very
wants
much.
us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ikra,
Yes, sir.
you get ready. After Ikra, actually, you people do not say. After Ikra, Sadia Ghaffar. Start. Ikra, you start. Ikra, your voice is not coming. Start, please. Can you hear me? Your voice is not coming. Ikra Javed. Ikra Javed, you're wasting time. Your voice is not coming. Ikra Javed, your voice is not coming.
सर आप प्लीज मेरा स्टार्ट कर दें.
Okay, Sadia Ghaffar. Start.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sadia Ghaffar from BS English, 5th semester. So today my presentation topic is the fairy queen as an allegory. First of all, I would like to tell that what is allegory. An allegory is a representation of an abstract or spiritual meaning. It may also be defined as a story with a hidden moral lesson. Its purpose is to convey some moral and religious truth in a delightful way. Sir, please change the slide. Okay, Fairy Queen as an allegory. The Fairy Queen is an epic poem by Edmund Spenser, which follows the adventures of a number of medieval knights. The poem is an allegorical symbolizing the moral and spiritual journey of an individual through innumerable temptations of sins towards the ultimate of glory and truth. So please change the slide. Thank you. Types of allegory. Here are three types of allegory: moral and spiritual allegory, religious allegory, and political allegory. The first one is moral and spiritual allegory. Moral and spiritual allegory in the Fairy Queen deals with the action and interaction of virtues and vices. The good character stand for virtues and the bad character stand for vices. The Red Cross Knight stand for holiness and Lady Ona stand for truth and goodness. And the second one is religious allegory. The Fairy Queen was written at a time when religious affiliation was seriously important. England had broken from the Catholic Church and formed its own Protestant church. So, religion in the Fairy Queen is not just an explanation of good living and ethical decision making, but it specifically defends Protestant principle over Catholic ones. The third one is political and allegory. Political allegory. Spencer brings to light the hypocrisy.
Excuse me. See the slide. See the slide and according to the slide. Tell me, give your presentation according to the slide. जो
तो ये
स्लाइड
मेरा हो चुका है।
जो स्लाइड सामने हो ना तो उसके ऊपर प्रेजेंटेशन दें.
Okay. Moral and spiritual allegory. Moral and spiritual allegory in the Fairy Queen deals with the action and interaction. The good characters stand for virtues and the bad characters stand for voices. In this allegory, the Red Cross Knight, political
Yeah,
allegory.
tell
Political
tell
allegory.
about political allegory.
Okay. Spencer brings to the light and the hypocrisy and delusion used by the Catholic Church to help the government manipulate their lives as well as the lives of the people of the England, because he reveals how anyone can appear to be religious, however their true nature is revealed by their actions. So next. Okay, conclusion. The Fairy Queen tells the stories of several knights, each representing a particular virtue on their quest for the Fairy Queen Gloriana. Red Cross is the knight of holiness and must defeat both theological error and the dragon of deception to free the parents of Lady Ona. That's all. So, any question regarding this?
Yeah, okay, any example of allegorical poem apart from Fairy Queen?
Sorry, sir?
Give me any example other than Fairy Queen of allegorical poem.
Animal Farm is also a allegorical poem, because Animal Farm is a great example of allegory and is often taught in high school English classes. And the story can be read as a fable of farm animals running a society, or it can be interpreted as the author's criticism of communism. Sir, the Animal Farm
Allegorical poem or satiric? It's a satire.
Sir, Animal Farm, George Orwell is also allegorical poem.
Not satire.
No, sir.
It is a satire.
Sir, I have studied that the Animal Farm is an allegorical poem.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, after this, Sadaf Hafiz. Present or not?
Yes, sir. I'm
Yeah,
here.
I'm playing here once. I played Ikra Javed, but she was absent. She, I think, got disconnected. Start. Start, please. Yes, Miss Sadaf Hafiz, start, please. We don't have time. Yes, Sadaf Hafiz.
Yes, sir.
Start, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Sadaf Hafiz from BS English, 10th batch and 5th semester. The title of my presentation is Vanessa, also called Elizabethan era, because at that time England was ruled by Queen Elizabeth. We also call this age Shakespearean age because we found a lot of work of Shakespeare in this age. Introduction. Renaissance means rebirth. Renaissance is a French word which means rebirth. Rebirth of what? Rebirth of knowledge. It also means revival of Greek art and literature and civilization. Renaissance is also known as reawakening of human mind. As we all know that before Renaissance, people were bound. They were not free to act something, but in Renaissance, human discovered himself by getting that freedom. Next, first Renaissance started in Italy during 14th century.
Yes, see this
We
slide.
found two major
excuse,
works. Yes, sir.
Excuse me. See the slide and then give your presentation.
Yes, sir. Now we have two major works that happened in Renaissance. First is the invention of printing press, and second is the translation of Bible in English. As we already know that Renaissance means rebirth of knowledge. So when printing press came into England, Many books were printed and circulated in society, and that's how people get awareness and human discover himself as well as the world. Second, another good thing happened in Renaissance, which is the translation of Bible in English. Before Renaissance, people were controlled by church and its regulation, its authority. But when Bible was translated, people started to read it and understand that now we have main theme of Renaissance. Humanism is the main theme of Renaissance. Humanism is a philosophy which says human is the center of the universe and life should be centered around humanity and should not be centered around church and its authority. Second, writers were writing on the problems of man. Before Renaissance came into England, church had supreme authority. Even the art, play, literature, everything was centered around church. But when Renaissance came, they started with the idea that humans are important and they are the finest creation of God. That's why writers used to write about the issues and problems of a man. Another aspect of Renaissance is man is responsible for his own action. Here is an example from Julius Caesar. As Shakespeare Cassius says to Brutus, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. Means there is no fault in stars. The fault is in ourselves because we humans are responsible of our actions. That's it.
Okay, what are the important writers of Renaissance?
Sir William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, Sir Philip Sidney, and Edmund Spenser.
Who is the representative? Who is the representative of the Renaissance? Representative poet of the Renaissance. Who completely represents Renaissance? As a poet? Hurry up.
As a poet, Sir Philip Sidney.
No, Spencer.
Yes, sir. Spencer, sorry.
Philip Sidney तो शायद था, but Spencer was the real representative of this era Renaissance. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Next one is Sadia Ghaffar done, Sadaf Hafiz done. Who is this? ये कौन है?
Sir Umama Raza.
Kindly please save by your name. Umama आपने भी अपने नाम से save नहीं किया था. When you save by your name, it becomes easy for me to open your file.
Okay, sir. Inshallah, next time.
Save by your name or please be present. एक दफ़ा आप लोग जब present नहीं होते, and it becomes very difficult for me to find your file. Start.
Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm a student of BS English 10th batch. Today my presentation topic is Spencer is representative of his age. The next slide. He was born in London in about 1552, and some scholars says that he was born in 1553. He was the first major poet after Chaucer. His father believed to be a John Spencer, a journeyman clothmaker. He was also called poet's poet because of his use of high quality poetry in his work. He is the sunrise of English poetry. He was the one of the premier craftsmen of modern English. In 1569, he left his school and attended known as Pembroke College, Cambridge. He could not afford the other school. He was supported at Pembroke by a Robert Novel. Here is the list of work which he has done. So some of his work are most famous, which are the Shepherd Calendars and the Fairy Queen. The next slide. The Shepherd Calendar, 1579. In 1579, the Shepherd Calendar was published. It was the first major work of Spencer. It was not only complete framework, it was a masterpiece of his work. The Shepherd Calendar was a poetic work and the context of 12 books.
You're just reading